Okay, so this is the Chapter 4 quiz. First thing you're supposed to do, write the word sentence as an inequality. Do not solve. So this one, a number b, so you can't choose your variable, you have to use b, is subtracted from 9.8. And that is greater than -4. The next one, the product of a number y and -3.6. So you're multiplying y and -3.6, and that is less than 6.5. So hopefully those are pretty easy for you when you're looking for those on the multiple choice. For number 3, it says, tell whether the given value is a solution. Well, in order to tell whether it's a solution or not, you have to plug the value in for x. So it says x minus 2 is greater than or equal to -1.6. You'll put 4 in for x. Then you're going to solve this and tell whether it makes sense. So for instance, if you got something like 10 is greater than 5, then you would say, yes, that is true. But if you got something that said something like 10 is less than 5, well, then that would be false. So you're going to plug 4 in for x over here, solve. You're just going to solve this side and tell whether this is a true inequality. For number 4 and 5. Now it says graph the inequality on a number line. And I'm not sure how to get number lines on this form. So what I did is I made the multiple choice right here. So you're going to have to pay attention so that you can go onto the test and mark what you think the right answer is. So here's the inequality for number 4. It says x is greater than or equal to -2. And you're either going to put, now all of these have their circles on -2. Is it an open circle with the arrow going to the right, an open circle with the arrow going to the left, a closed circle with the arrow going to the right, or a closed circle with the arrow going to the left? Okay, so you'll choose A, B, C, or D on the test. They will just have A, B, C, or D, and you'll have to remember, hopefully write it down, which one of these you chose for the graph of that inequality. For number 5, K is less than 2/3. You're either going to choose, now all of the circles are at 2/3, open circle, arrow to the right, open circle, arrow to the left. For C, closed circle, arrow to the right, and for D, closed circle, arrow to the left. So you're graphing that inequality. For number 6, it says solve the inequality. So we solve these inequalities just like we solve equations, except it's not an equal sign, it's this inequality sign. So x plus 4 is greater than -8, and you'll do what you need to do to get x all by itself on the left-hand side here. For number 7, c minus 2.8 is greater than or equal to -0.3. You'll isolate c on this left-hand side by doing the same thing to both sides here. And remember, it's the same symbol that stays. Instead of an equal sign, you've got this greater than or equal to sign through the inequality. For number 8, a person who is at least 65 years old is often considered a senior citizen. Write an inequality that represents this situation. So for senior citizen, I'm going to use a C for the variable. Okay? And you will have to write an inequality that shows that the senior citizen has to be at least 65 years old. And then here we have the following, the requirements for a roller coaster are shown. So for number 9, at least 5 feet tall. And then here are the graphs that I came up with this one. So for at least 5 feet tall, we have A, B, C, and D. You write an inequality for at least 5 feet tall, and then that'll be one of these graphs here. Okay, open circle, arrow to the right, open circle, arrow to the left, closed circle, arrow to the right, closed circle, arrow to the left. And then you'll figure out which one of these would be at least 5 feet tall. For number 10, weigh no more than 350 pounds. So we have A, open circle, arrow to the right. B, open circle, arrow to the left. C, closed circle, arrow to the right. And D, closed circle, arrow to the left. And number 11, must be 16 years or older. A is, they're all at 16. Open circle, arrow to the right. B, open circle, arrow to the left. C, closed circle, arrow to the right. And D, closed circle, arrow to the left. All right, so you should be able to write the inequalities, and then you have to choose which of these graphs goes with your inequality. Now, the wording on some of these things, like at least or no more than, if you recall, I think that was in lesson 4.1. There was a chart that showed what those mean. You can feel free to go back and or review that video just to see what those terms mean, and that might help you to write these inequalities, but you might not need that. All right, well, good luck on the test. Have a great night.